Hello, people. I have no idea how many people are going to show up tonight. I'll be honest with you. I just talked to FBS. He was nice enough to push his show back about an extra half hour. I don't have a ton of stuff to talk about on here. I just want to talk about a few things, but I'm going to wait for some more people to get in here. But once again, Chris, FBS, thank you very much. See, this is what I'm talking about when people work together. I didn't realize he was coming on 10:15, so I figured he was just going to do his one show tonight, but he decided to come on later. And I just called him, and he said that he does not mind pushing his show back for a half hour, or for me to call him as soon as I'm done here. That's what you call working together, people. Can you guys hear me okay? Just let me know, somebody in the chat room, please. Okay. I'm going to let some more people get in here before I start discussing anything, talking to anybody. Miss Can't Be Wrong. Can you hear me? If there's any issues hearing me, please let me know. Okay. Cleveland Corleones. Chris Thomas, thank you. AJ Lyons, hello. Mad Dog, I appreciate it. Danny's not here tonight. There's a reason for that, and I will discuss it. Benny Diova. Ben Diova, thank you for being here. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for a few more. This is Memorial Day night. When you come on, I never come on at night, very rarely. But what I decided to do is, Buster Detroit. Yeah, we got something real good coming up with that. That's what I want to discuss, the interviews that we got coming up tonight. What's wrong with Danny and my situation. Scott Bell, how you doing? Hey, listen, guys, please do not block Scott Bell. Okay, if there's some conflict of interest in here, if you guys get into an argument, I'd really appreciate you not blocking him. He's a good guy. Me and him got along great. We email each other, but there's been some conflicts going on between people's personalities. So I'd really appreciate it. If Scott pisses you off, that's just Scott. Just let him stay in. Please don't block him. Tony, how you doing? After the show, I'll give you a call, okay? I just wait for a few more people to get in here. Party over here. How you doing? Tommy Stiggs, how are you doing? Bofa's here. What do we owe this pleasure for, Bofa, for you to be here? Kodiak, block Tony. Is Tony Pizza here? I don't see him here. Don't block Tony if he comes in. He can stay in as long as he's respectful. If he's a dick, then you block him. It's that simple, people. We don't like to block people here. You come in. If you want to say, hey, Lee, you're an asshole, that's no problem. Just be respectful about it. Don't say, hey, Lee, you're an asshole and fuck your family, something like that. Big Boy Blue, how you doing? I appreciate you jumping in. Maverick, hello. Gianni, thank you. I'll say a prayer for Danny and for you, Lee. Saw the title of your show, wanted to send the best wishes. Have a good night. Gianni, thank you. And I was going to explain that. Let me tell you something, people. We can't talk too much about the shot, if you know what I mean. The poke, the pinch. Danny's had 2 pinches, and he still got the virus. So, he called me this morning, and Tony's a pretty tough guy. He was going to try to, just lay down and rest and relax. And then I talked him into going to the hospital, thank God. And they have a regimen of stuff they give you now. And Miss Can't Be Wrong, you're right. They give you zinc and all that stuff too. And they tell you the vitamins to get. So he's going to be down. I don't know how long he's going to be down. But see, when you're older, you're overweight, and if you have some ailments like blood pressure and stuff, you got to be very careful. You don't mess with COVID. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to be dealing with that over the next few days. Let's see. Real Bofa, I'm crazy. I can't help it. Bofa, we all know you're crazy. You don't have to tell us you're crazy. Okay? But you are crazy. Okay? I'm going to talk about a few things too, other stuff going on here in Mob 2. I like to do shows with content, but tonight I'm not going to really do that. I'm going to be like other people and just kind of bullshit and complain a little bit and talk about other people, because why not? And just so you know, I talked to FBS. He's pushing his show up a half hour, and once again, that's the great thing about having relationships with other people that have shows. Believe it or not, I have a lot of people in my chat that he has, and mods too. And so we discussed it, and he was nice enough to move it. Jesse Roth would not be here right now if FBS was on, right, Jesse? But I understand that. Thank you for being here. The thing don't necessarily prevent it, but it does lessen the symptoms. So be thankful. He had those things. I have not gotten the pinch yet. I'm a free man. That stuff does not go in my body. Okay. Hello from Saudi Arabia. Thank you. Is that you, dude? Come on. Is that your picture? Or is that like an entertainer's picture? I don't know. But Ferris7X, say hello. Lee saying hello from Saudi Arabia. If you're here from Saudi Arabia, how are you doing? Okay, we're just about ready to hit 100 here. That's what I wanted to get to before I start talking. Me either, Lee. Good choice. If you're younger, the evidence is coming out with that now, that it causes people to be sterile. Sounds like a big plot to me, people, don't it? Hey, listen, who'd be great in MobTube? Amber Heard. What do you guys think? Would Amber Heard be good here? Because she's as nutty as can possibly be. Now that the trial's over, I'm going to talk about it a little bit. A lot of people have been watching that. Do you guys think that it's going to help Johnny Depp come back? He's lost billions of dollars because of this woman. And it's obvious the woman's a psychopath. So do you guys think that he's going to be able to reestablish his career? Just think about that. It's very sad when you're in relationships like that. I'm sure he did things wrong too. But that woman was cheating on him, bringing Franco up in the elevator. She was banging the richest man in the world. She was going everywhere, dude. I don't know how much of that trial you watched, but it was kind of entertaining at times. And, you see Johnny Depp enter into the building and the fans are going crazy. Amber Heard has to sneak through the back and you hear all the boos coming. I think her career is over, people. I don't think we'll ever see her in a major role again. When you really think about it. Yeah, Depp was simping. He's a damn good simp too, Buster Detroit. The way he controlled that courtroom, the way his lawyer, that Camille, came in and took over, it's going to be interesting to see what the verdict is. They look like two screwballs. They deserve. No, I don't think so. Listen, let me tell you something. Johnny Depp goes to all these hospitals and stuff, dresses up as the pirate, goes with these kids with cancer. You can go on YouTube and see 1,000 of those videos. I don't think that he's a bad person. I think he's a good person that got caught up in addiction. And addiction and a crazy woman. Those two things don't go good together, people. She's done. If you seen Amber cross-examine, oh my God, did you see her fake crying? Her teacher, her drama teacher, said that she wasn't able to get tears in her eyes for a part. That was one of her weaknesses as an actress. So, okay, let's see. Bendiover, I was mad in my time. I wanted revenge. It could never have occurred to me. Crap. What kind of woman takes a shit in your bed? Now, I could see a man doing that, but a woman? Scott Bell, Camille is in deep now. Left below, she went. Camille has become the fame. Do you realize that she is the #1 person on TikTok right now? Her videos, they're all getting 1 million views. She's going so viral on TikTok right now. It's amazing. That woman wasn't even known. Nobody even knew who she was. Just the people. She was a good lawyer, and now look how famous she came overnight. Welcome to YouTube, TikTok. That's what it does, people. It makes you famous. Lee, I'm taking you to lunch tomorrow. Listen, I don't want to go to lunch with a guy named Carmine Galante. It might be my last lunch. John Smith, Lee is a snitch. Okay, if you and Chris. So let me guess. You got a picture of SoFlo there, and I'm a snitch, John Smith. Okay, so if you want to come in there, leave John Smith alone. Let him say what he wants to say. We know who John Smith is, everybody. I know who he is. But we'll just leave it at that. He's one of those guys that pretend he's your friend, but he's a scumbag behind the scenes. We see those people all the time. You can't trust nobody here. Very few people you could trust. Let me tell you something. I had a person that I thought I could trust, and something happened to me a couple of days ago here on MobTube, and this person did something. I'm not going to mention who the person is, but they struck one of my videos, and out of the blue, for no reason. And this is a person I was getting along great with. No issues whatsoever with this person. See, this is what I'm talking about, people. You cannot, friendships on here, you can have an acquaintance, you can get along with people, and FBS will tell you the same thing. You never know who's going to turn on you and when they're going to turn on you. And for what reason they're going to turn on you. You just don't know. You know what it's like when you trust somebody and they're your buddy, and the next thing you know, they're striking one of your videos from 3 months ago? I'm furious about that, people. I'm having a hard time being calm about it and behaving, because this is what people become your friends, and this is what they do. Steve, you just made worth it my while coming on tonight. I really appreciate that. And, once again, Steve, woke Hollywood won't let Johnny make a comeback. I think he will. You know what, Steve? Because there's other platforms out there in Hollywood that can help you come back. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. And Johnny Depp is so popular, when in the end, it always comes back to money. So we'll see. I hope you're wrong there, Steve, but maybe you're right. Lee, I hope that all is well and speedy recovery. Yes. So I'm going in for surgery on Wednesday. I'm getting a pacemaker. You remember when people were telling me that I was faking my heart issue and all that stuff? It turns out that my heart is missing a beat. And so I'm lucky, though, because it's a pacemaker. It's not like they have to operate on the artery, give me open heart surgery. And I'm a little bit nervous, though. I'm going to be honest with you. And so Wednesday at 2:00, I go in. And if everything goes good, after 3 hours after recovery, they let you go home. But we'll see. You never know when you go into the hospital. I called my sister and stuff, and I arranged everything. God forbid if something happened to me. I told her where I wanted to be buried, how I wanted to be buried. I'm going to be buried in Texas, people. I'm a New York guy. I always thought my whole family's buried in New York and Nassau Knolls, right on the edge of Long Island and Queens. My whole family's there. So I always thought that I would be buried in New York, but I'd rather be buried in Texas because I love Texas. I'm in northern Texas too. It's a great area to live. And I would tell anybody, if you want to have a great life and you want to get away from everything, move to northern Texas. It's like a different world here, people. Politics doesn't rule here, which is nice. Everybody's nice here in northern Texas. I'm up near the Amarillo area, Amarillo is a very nice city. This area is about half Hispanic, half white, I would say. But and the Hispanics here, it's old money. People don't realize that the Hispanics really, there's a lot of old money Hispanics living in Texas, and they built this state. And same with like Northern Texas living here, I absolutely love. Miss can't be wrong. Yes. Yep. Shocked me. Absolutely shocked me. No, I didn't get a strike. Basically what it was is now this person's trying to reverse that, but usually when you try to reverse it, it's too late. So I want to see if the video, before I get really upset about it, I want to see if the video is taken down. If it's taken down, then I'm going to have some major issues because it's wrong. You know, it's just wrong. You know, especially when you think it's someone that you're getting along with. If you want to have a great life, stay off it. Why? Why stay off YouTube? I'm having a great time on YouTube, Kevin. You know, you could turn YouTube into a business and you can actually make money on YouTube. And I just had my best month ever on YouTube. SG Diaz, thank you so much. Hope all goes well with your procedure. I appreciate that. $50 from Diaz. That's amazing. Thank you, guys. You know, and FBS will tell you the same thing. You know, you come on, you don't expect something. And what happens? Steve and Diaz shows up. That's what happens. I mean, those guys are top of the line guys. Texas, thanks, but no thanks. Listen, you're wrong, Mad Dog. The only time that Texas's grid failed was one time, and it was the storm of the century here. Mad Dog, it happened one time. So you know what you do? Stop reading those papers. Stop listening to that liberal shit on the news like CNN. Texas is lucky to have its own grid because that means that someday Texas may secede from the United States and have its own grid. They learned their lesson from what happened last year. And they fixed a lot of the grid up. But that's the first time that happened with the grid, Mad Dog. The first time. So, you know, you can say what you want, but you're misinformed, my man. Okay, let's see what's here. Yo, boys, I hope everything is okay with you, Lee. Best wishes to you and your buddy for future. Yes, you know something? See, that's the thing. When you got two old farts like me and Danny on here, we're not like you young bucks. You know, you young bucks are strong dogs, man. I mean, you know, appreciate your health. If you got your health, appreciate it because you could lose it just like that. You know, I have a lot of friends on Facebook that I grew up with in New York, and a lot of them have died. And I'm talking about dying in their 50s and early 60s. So, you know, it makes you look at things different because as you get older, death happens around you more. When I was in my 30s, there was never no death. Very rarely did someone die. Now it seems like every day I wake up, someone I know has passed away. It kind of sucks. You know, it's like Mark Twain said, growing old is not for the faint of heart. And I never really thought about that Mark Twain statement, but as you get older, you understand what Mark Twain meant. He was getting older and he was seeing all his friends dying. So that's what you have to look forward to as you get older. So I thank God for being able to come on here and talk to you people. I do. I got 170 people here right now. I was worried about getting 20 people here. I never know when I come in here. You know, I'm just glad that 170 people will waste their time listening to me. And, you know, you have to be able to get on here and work this by yourself at times. And there's very few people that can do that on YouTube. Very few. But I enjoy sometimes being here by myself and bullshitting. Because if you guys don't like what I have to say, what are you going to do? You're going to leave. That's it. Okay. Phillies take the lead in the 8th. I didn't even realize the Phillies had any fans left. But anyway, I'm a Yankee fan. We We won 2 out of 4 in Tampa Bay. We used to always lose all the games in Tampa Bay, so I'll take 2 out of 4. Actually, Mike, Southwest Oklahoma is beautiful. Oklahoma is one of the most underrated states in the country. The most negative thing about Oklahoma is lots of tornadoes. I've never seen a tornado till I moved here. And, I'm about 20 minutes from the Oklahoma border. Okay. Rogan's Austin, Texas. Austin's where it's at. Austin, oh my God, Austin's the worst state. It's the worst city in this state. Austin used to be a beautiful city. Now you got homeless people everywhere. You got tents everywhere. You got mentally ill people. What has happened, Austin has become like the San Francisco of Texas. It's ran by the liberals. It's being run into the ground by the liberals. Even Joe Rogan says that. But Joe Rogan was smart to come to Texas. But his house ain't in Austin. I'll tell you that much. He lives on the outskirts of Austin. The city of Austin is going in the toilet. It's the next San Francisco. They got tents all over the place with homeless people that literally have no reason to be homeless. They're just living in tents, staying in Austin, getting high, having fun in the streets. Neutral Drop, how you doing? I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you. I check fixed scores, weather, and obituaries nowadays. Yeah, that's it. When you get older, you check obituaries. You just never know. I've lost some good friends. People I grew up with in high school. I went to high school. Basically, my younger days, it was in Bedford Hills. It was Fox Lane was the name of the school. And then I dropped out of school, moved to Yonkers with my family, like an asshole. But I got my education back, so it all worked out. Yeah, in 2 years, I had 2 heart attacks. People take life for granted. Hey, Both, I'm sorry you had those heart attacks. I'm surprised you did because you get your feelings all out. Getting old sucks. Celtics winning in Game 7 against the Heat. Winner goes to the final. Good. How much are the Celtics winning by? I like to see Golden State Celtics in the final for sure. I don't want to see the Heat in the final. He said that he does this for a living. Creators need to ask for permission. I don't know what you're talking about, Gary. Anytime I use somebody's stuff, I ask for permission. That's what bothered me. I asked for permission on what was complained about. Most beautiful women live in Texas. There are some beautiful women here, but you know what? You know who has underrated women? And I've been in 2 serious relationships in the state of Wisconsin. They got that wholesome look, but they're crazy. I only know how to do a show alone. I have no real content. I'm not in genre. I don't have many subs. Eventually, I'll learn this thing. Tommy, you're doing a great job. Sometimes, unfortunately, you got to have some kind of content. I'll give you an example. I have content with Danny. Ever since Danny and I started doing good together, we've gone way up in subs. We're getting subs every day. We're never losing subs. But you got to decide what your thing's going to be. I'll give you an example. FBS, what's his thing? He's good at going at people. That's his thing. People might say, oh, it's drama, but he's good at it. And people, remember, when us people come into these shows, we fill out what we're going to be. In this genre, we hit the entertainment thing. Entertainment. If you guys aren't entertained, you're not coming in here. If you guys, there's 170 views in here right now, you must be entertained in some way. And I came in here, just to tell you that Danny had COVID, and hopefully he'll be better in a few days. And I'm getting my surgery Wednesday. That's basically what I came here for. But we also landed some good interviews, people. And I'll share them with you when I put the thumbnails up. 2 of the interviews are in a different genre, and they both have, one of them has 30,000 subs. See, what we're trying to do, Danny and I, we're trying to cross over to other genres so we get more subs from other genres. And you got to do that too. If you stay in one genre, you're going to be at a standstill. When I brought Scott Bernstein on, I wound up getting 200 extra subs from his genre. Just like that. You know, that you got to cross over into other places. We're not all, I don't know. Did you guys see the video I put up of Jimmy Calandra today cursing at me? People say, oh, Lee, why did you put that up? I put that up, but I reached out and asked if it was okay. I didn't put that up to start trouble. So I don't want you guys to think I just put it up. You know, the other person thought it was funny and told me to put it up. So there's a 1-minute video up of Jimmy telling me, showing me his love. Lee, are you still cool with Gene? And you know what? I'm glad that you asked me, Matt, about Gene. Gene and I had issues because he started going out with this girl, and I told him the girl was like him, pretty much insane. And I told him, I said to him, look, I can't really deal with you while you're in this relationship with this girl because she's going to get you in trouble, dude. It's going to go in a bad place. And then we didn't talk for a while. And what happened? It went in a bad place. Some guys just cannot stay out of trouble. They try to stay out of trouble, but they're not capable. They get mad too easy. They fight too much. And Gene's most likely going to be going back to jail. And when I talked to him last, I told him, I said, Gene, he's underestimating what's going to happen to him. I think he's going to get hit hard. Because there's a video out there of him standing in a motel with a knife in his hand, threatening to stab people up. So that's some serious stuff, people. And you can't do that. You can't threaten people, especially if you're Gene Borrello. And listen, what I'm saying here, Gene could be watching right now. I'll tell him the same thing. You can't do that, especially when they want to put you away. You know, when you're public enemy number one, just keep your mouth shut and stay out of trouble. But when you start threatening people with knives and you're in a relationship with the same woman who's crazier than you, or you're both crazy, it's going to lead to trouble. And he was one of those women that would like punch back. A hot woman that punches back. First kind, a hot woman that punches back. Matt, I hope that answers your question, but I don't like to see anybody go to jail. But if you can't stay out of trouble, and if you're threatening people's lives, and you are on probation, and you're on federal probation, you know, that's why I put up that thing about him. I put up another 1-minute video of Gene cutting his bracelet off. Because once that bracelet came off, he was no longer under that type of supervision. And that's what happens to these guys. They're off the supervision. They start slowly crawling back to their old ways. You know, unfortunately, I don't want to see a guy in his mid-30s go back to jail and stay there until he's 40 or older. But this is where this is going to end up because there's no self-control. Whether you like Gene Borrello or not, there's a lot of people that don't like him. Some that do like him. But Gene Borrello's like all those other guys, their own worst enemy. Whether you're John Alite, look at Sammy Gravano. Sammy Gravano goes to prison, gets out 5 years later for what? 19 murders. And what does he do? He goes down to Arizona with his family and starts a drug empire. And when he got out of prison the first time, he had a lot of money. The feds let him keep a lot of his money when he got out. But when he got out, he still got into the drug business with his kids. It's in their head. That's how these guys are. You know, like Michael Franzese. People think he's like some kind of saint. We put something up. We proved that many times he's not a saint. He plays the part. Once again, it's that being that guy in the street, they can't get it out of their system. I think that those guys that are gangsters like Sammy Gravano or Michael Franzese, they have it inside of them. It's hard to get rid of because you enjoyed that life so much. Arthur Stewell, it's good to see you here. Okay, let's see. Gene might as well start renting a jail cell. No, it's rent-free. That's the one thing about going to prison. It's rent-free. No charge. You can go to prison for all you want, or as long as you want, and the state will pay for it. Well, in his case, the feds are paying for it. Okay. Excellent question. At least the Mob 2 creators once say it's wrong. Yes. Gene spent so much time at Rikers, I feel like he's tougher than all these. Well, Stevie F. Only Gene knows how tough he is at Rikers Island. There's no such thing. I'm going to tell you what. And Danny talks to me about this. A young Danny is much tougher than a young Gene. I'll guarantee you that. But when he went to prison, he still had lots of fights and he won and lost. So it don't matter who you are when you go to prison. John Gotti went to prison and had a hard time in prison. It doesn't matter who you are because it's a whole different world that you're going into, and those prisoners don't give a hoot who you were. When Al Capone went to prison, they sent him to Alcatraz, and people used to pick on him there because he was Al Capone. You know, there's no such thing as a prison system being safe for anybody. Everybody's looking to make a reputation on somebody's name in prison. You know something, Gino, great point. Taxpayers are paying for it, you know, but you know what? The taxpayers pay for everything now. I mean, we're $30 trillion in debt. Think about that. $30 trillion in debt. Don't even know what anybody's getting paid for. I think the guys that sit in Washington are getting their bank accounts full while everybody else is suffering. This can be wrong. People come at you because they think you can't get back at them. Okay, well, you don't mess with Miss Can't Be Wrong. She'll just block you right out. Lee, I think Wolf is going to make another video of sticking pins in you. Hey, listen. John Wolf is welcome to come back in here. But if I see him talking crap in other chat rooms about me and Danny, I'm not gonna. You know, why be two-faced? Why come in someone's chat room and then go talk shit about him in another person's chat room? That's two-faced. That's punk shit. You know? And you know, people don't realize when you go in other chat rooms and start talking shit about people, it gets back to the creator. They actually, you know what they do? They take a picture of it and send it to my email. You know, and that's the same thing they do with FBI. Oh, take this picture. Angel Gotti, here, Angel, take a look at this. So you guys that are going to other chat rooms being two-faced, you know, Gene Borrello, very bad temper, you know, very bad temper. John Wolf hasn't been around lately. Well, John Wolf was in here, but I blocked him the other day. I want to unblock him. If he gives me his word he's going to come back and be respectful, I'll unblock him and let him back. You know, listen, when John Wolf was thrown off, when he lost his channel, I did a video saying, we're going to miss you. I've always been decent to the guy, but it seems like the guy doesn't want to be decent to me. So, you know, one day he's your friend, the next day he's talking crap about you. Another one of those people. Lee, did you ever hear about John Gotti evading the Vietnam draft? I thought with his injuries to his leg and foot, he would be turned down. Listen, a lot of people avoided the Vietnam War, and nowadays we're understanding why they avoided the Vietnam War. You know, I'm very much against guys that, the way they set our soldiers up there to die was horrible. You know, they didn't support our troops in Vietnam at all. The government didn't, the people didn't, and those poor guys, they went through hell. What's done in the dark will always come to light on you. Not joking. Oh my God. I'll tell you what. The trolls came in here fucking around, thinking that they were untouchable. And they learned they're not. And see, most trolls go into these communities and they terrorize these communities. Terrorize the communities. But they came into this community and got their asses kicked. People don't want to hear that. And I know there's trolls listening right now. If you guys don't think you got your asses kicked, think again. Some of you have been exposed. You literally put your personal life out there now. So if you're going to give, you got to be willing to take. And trolls are used to giving and not taking. But this is a crazy community, people. You come in here and mess in this community, you got a bunch of crazy people in here. You know, you think it's easy to come in here and be abused every night? Do you think it's easy for FBS, Angel, Gunsmoke, me, Josie, Tony Slowflo's? Now you have Chicago putting out pictures of Tony Slowflo's girlfriend, wife. I'm sorry, his wife. There should be a limit here, people. I'm totally against that. And Chicago, if you're listening, I'll be straight up and tell you, I think it's wrong that you put that picture up. I mean, even if she got on and said something to you, how would you like it if somebody did it to your wife, dude? That's what it comes down to. You put the man's wife up? Is there any decency here? I seen that lady on there. She's never really bothered nobody, dude. So you want to get even with the husband and you're going to put the wife up? That's like what's his name did and put the daughter, FBS's daughter up. And what the fuck, guys? What are you doing? You know, doing this shit. Shame on you. You should have never put it. I'm sorry, Chicago. You should have never put his wife up. That's wrong, dude. That's going over the line. Which that's making you is a snitch. Me and you, we've had words a couple times and usually ended it. But I'm not going to pretend what you did was right. You know, you might think it's right. And then you get mad because she gets on and attacks you. But so what if she attacks you? It's still a woman. It's still a wife. How many lines are you going to cross, dude? I mean, you're out here talking about snitches and stuff, and you're doing it more than anybody. I don't understand you, dude. I don't understand why you want to hurt people like this. Your battle is with Tony Slowflo. That's where it should have stayed, with Tony. I was shocked when I seen that. When you have her blasted full view. Like she's a big woman. What is she, like 50 or something, dude? Are you going to put up a picture of me in my bathing suit with my fat gut hanging out? I'm telling you, people, this is ugly. And I'm not going to hold back how I feel because I was disgusted when I seen that, Chicago. Disgusted. No reason to put that woman up. None. I don't give a shit what you think the reason is. There's no reason for it. Do you have reason to go after Tony Slowflo? Absolutely. But you don't have a reason to go after his wife. There's nothing funny about it. Whoever laughs about it, I don't know what to say to you. Crazy how Lee has become the voice of reason. Who would have ever taught Steve Cutler? I just talked about Chicago muscle now. So he's going to do a video on me. You know why? Because that's how he does it. But dude, if you're going to go after people, don't be a rat doing it. Don't put up people's information. You put out my arrest record, dude. You think I forgot about that? What was the reason to put out my arrest record? Everybody knows I'm a fucking criminal here. There was no reason for that. You know, this ain't no joke no more. This is like somebody's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get really hurt here. When you don't show your face, it's easy to be a tough guy. Very easy. But what are you going to do when they find out who you are? You went after another man's wife. Another man that's probably pretty crazy. So I would hope that he doesn't find out who you are. You just don't do it. It's going over the lines. You guys that are going after wives are cowards. Especially her. She wasn't even on the show. People could say, okay, I went after FBS's wife because she's on the show saying something. Okay, that's okay. But what's your reason for going after her? That poor woman, she comes on, smiles, she's happy, and she waves to people. And then all of a sudden, you got a fat wife, you're making fun of the woman's size because she's a big woman? I'm telling you, people, you know, it seems like when it comes to women, there's different rules here. There's definitely different rules. And, you know, I went over that line one time with FBS's wife, and it was on that sleazebag show, I Like. I apologized for that, and I should have never did it. But this stuff with the women and the brutalizing the women, okay, if the women are going to fight and get up here and say stuff, okay, you treat them like a man. But if you have some innocent woman that just mind her business, she's working hard, she's a good woman, and then you put her up like that, I can't tell you how I feel about that. It pisses me off so bad. I felt so sad for that woman when I seen that. You don't think you're hurting that woman's feelings? The last thing any woman wants to do is be called, made fun of because of their weight. So I you know, here's my challenge to you, Chicago. Show us what you look like. Show us what your wife looks like. Instead of hiding behind the mic. And you can attack me all you want. But see, that's the thing, though. It's easy to attack somebody. You're no different than Tony Pizza. You're no different. He did all these evil things. And then you're laughing and you're thinking that you're some kind of tough guy. No, it's not tough. And Chicago, you know that I don't go after you. But there's no reason for this, dude. If you were any type of man, you would take that down and apologize and move on. That's just my opinion. You take it for whatever you want. When I'm done here, you're going to make a video saying shit about me. I know how this works, dude. I don't give a shit, though. If I had a picture of your wife tomorrow, I would never put it up. Someone put my daughter's face up. My daughter has nothing to do with this. They put her face up. An ex-military veteran. A woman whose husband died last year, and he's in the military. And yet people were willing to go over that line. See, this is what kind of communities we have here. I blame this on trolls, and I blame this on people that are just chicken shit. If you don't show your face and you're showing another man's wife, you're a chicken shit. And you can come after me you want. You know why? Because you're a coward, dude. Because that's what you do. You can go after people because no one knows who you are. But no one knew who MRE was. How did that go? How did that go? Okay, let me take some more things. I'm going to stay on about FPS. If you're watching, give me 1 minute, please. Okay, let's see right here. Okay, can we give it an even 10? Can we do 15 more minutes? Okay, I'm asking you permission. Now they're gonna, and I'm on right now. So right now, FPS, they're gonna say, Lee had to call FPS for permission. But anyway, no, I didn't either. But I'm just getting some stuff off my chest. So this whole thing with SoFlo's wife is really disturbing me. You're more than welcome to jump on right now if you want. No, he's like, no, that's all right. I'm going to do my own show. But anyway, I'll talk to you. Okay, I'll be out about 15 minutes. Bye. Hey, if you guys ever think you would see that, but that's the thing. People want to call people names and everything on here and say how bad they are, but they don't see how bad they are. Think about it. We got some ruthless scumbags on here. Ruthless. Do you think that anybody on here would go up to Danny and say shit to his face? Do you think that sleazebag in a tent that lives in the wood, he makes up stories? The other day, he put on his thing, thank God it's Friday. I'm thinking to myself, why do you give a shit what day it is? You're in the fucking woods in a tent. Does it matter what day it is? Because tomorrow you're still going to be in the woods in a tent. And every headline he puts up lately, Lee Cole, Danny Trio, Lee Cole, Danny Trio. Every headline. Go check. Do you think that Tony would say shit to Danny Trio's face, people? Do you think he would? Highlight is the worst of the worst. He has fanboy. But Highlight has like 9 people watching him. This is why I never took Vinny Green serious. If Vinny Green was a real gangster, a real street guy, he would have never given any cred at all to Highlight. Do you think a real street guy would give Highlight credit or cred or believe that he was part of the Bananos? See, this is what I'm talking about. You got so much bullshit on here, people. It's just amazing. And these fuckers with the little shows, Chicago would put something up with me and have 300-400 people look at it. Whoop-de-doo. If I have 300 to 400 people look at my shit, I would close my show down. No, I'm not really. Just a little bit, Christian. You're 100% correct, Lee. CM is no better. Yes. Sorry, Arthur. It's the truth. Once you hit that low spot of going after another man's wife, who's a good woman, it's obvious that this woman's a good woman. Shame on you. You got a good woman here that you just wanted to destroy and put her out there and embarrass her. Embarrass her coming out of the pool, dude. Why would you do that? What would make you do that? You could preach all this stuff. You could say you're a military man, that your sons are cops and all this stuff, and talk about what a great human being you are. But when you do stuff like that, you're not a great human being. You're not. And you know what? If you come after me, the only reason you're doing that is because I'm hurting your feelings. But everybody agrees with me. The only people that don't agree with you are probably 20, 30 people. Anybody that agrees that you should put a man's wife up is a scumbag. Anybody. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. And you'll pay the price for it. If not in this world, in another world. Leah, actually, I have a lot of respect for you right now speaking. Hey, Rolex, it's truth. We can't be bringing our wives or our partners into this. What do people say then? I robbed a woman that I cared for who was on a ventilator's credit card. This is the shit they do. This is like, there's a meanness here in this genre. There's an angriness, a meanness, and people are so fucking mean. And usually Danny and I would just be doing shows. I could be my old self tonight. But, but when Danny comes back, I'm not my old self no more. If God forbid, if something goes wrong with me during my surgery on Wednesday, the fact of the matter is you still put that picture up of his wife and you're guilty, and shame on you. You know what I wish, Chicago? I wish you'd come up here right now and talk to me, put up a little thing and say, tell us why you did it. Because he's going after you? I never heard Tony Slowflow mention about going after your wife, dude. Never heard it. I heard him going after you. You guys are going back and forth. And that's a fair war. You against Tony, that's fair. Bringing the wife into it isn't fair. It's cowardly. And I'm going to tell other people that support Chicago. If you're going to talk about people coming after women and stuff, talk to him about why he did that. And I know you're going to make up some excuse why you did it, Chicago. And you're probably right in this chat room right now watching me with another name. Of course, you're going to have another name. You're not going to show your face. You're going to tell us all these things. You got sons in the police department. You got a Purple Heart. You fucking fart, fucking gold dust, whatever the fuck. You could say, whenever no one knows who you are, you could say whatever you want. And unfortunately, you're going to have a group of people that believe you. The reality is, what people that hide their face and don't want to show themselves, they're hiding something about them. It's not about going after rats. It's not about being justice. It's because you're hiding something. I kind of have an idea what it is, but I'll keep it quiet because I'm not 100% sure. Maybe 60, 70%. And if your sons are in the police department and you're a military man, shame on you, dude. Absolutely shame on you. Why would you do that as a military man? Weren't you taught something in the military about dignity? You came after me, a father of 3 children who are in the military. Why would you come after me? Supposedly, you're a military man. You respect other military families. It's all bullshit, people. I'm calling bullshit on you, Chicago. I'm calling bullshit. You're not telling us something. What is it? And Chicago, if you come after me, I swear to God, I'll come after you 20 times harder. You came after me one time. Remember what happened when you came after me the very first time? I had your channel listed as adult. And you came after me for no reason. You come after me a couple times now for no reason. Like you scare me. Dude, you don't scare me. You got 300-400 people that are watching you. That's it. If I'm not scared of FBS, why the fuck would I be scared of you? There'll be no reason. It's like you said the other day, you're going after FBS now. I'm sure he's home crying right now and he's shaking and hiding underneath his bed because you're coming after him. So why don't you go back to doing what you're doing? Go after Tony, go after SoFlo, like the man, be a man about it. Leave other people out of it. You leave other people out of it, I'll keep you out of my mouth. But if you start bringing up innocent people, then I'll get involved in this. because it's wrong. Stop being a coward, dude. I got 230 people listening to me right now, dude. I'll have 2,000 to 3,000 people on this video when I shut it down. Will you? See, you're making a mistake by going after people that are much bigger and stronger than you. Remember that. Shannon never said anything to be attacked by a man. St. Elizabeth, listen, we all have our crosses to bear. I have some crosses to bear. There's no doubt about that. I came in late. Who's he talking about? Who's Chicago? Exactly. Scott H. Who's Chicago? Chicago is like the baby city compared to New York City. That's what it's like. Chicago is the new shithole city of the country. Why would you name yourself after it? Their day will come, and it will. See, they don't realize it. You keep pushing the envelope. You keep pushing and pushing and pushing. That's what happens. Then you make people look for you harder. You got someone right out there offering $4,000 for your information, dude. You know, you're going to piss off the wrong person. Someone's going to give you up. Guarantee it. Tony Soflo got CM in his trick box. Okay. Damn Lee going, I don't want to go hard, dude, but I felt so bad for that woman when I seen that picture. And then to be mocking her size and stuff. Fred, thank you. Best wishes for surgery. We're behind you. I appreciate it, Fred. Yeah, you know, it was just an awful feeling. It's like they did it to me when I seen that picture. And it's like, it's funny. It's like they're coming out of the pool. Damn, it's just not funny, man. It's just not funny. I'll bet you that woman's 10 times the woman that most people are most people in this mob tube is. And listen, I have my issues with SoFlo, but I have no issues with his wife. If I have issues with Tony, I would call him up or email him or say something to him. But I would never talk about the man's wife or insult his wife. Arthur, thank you. I appreciate it. Lee, don't mess with Chicago Muscle. Who's messing with Chicago Muscle? I'm telling the truth. And what is he going to do to me? Am I going to lose subs because he attacks me? No. Absolutely not. He's just going to feel good about himself. Thinks he's winning. He's not winning. He's had two channels shut down already. How can you be winning if you have your channel shut down? So that's it. If you have your channel shut down, that means you're doing something wrong. People have tried to shut my channel down, and YouTube has said, no, leave him alone. We're not going to shut him down. Mr. Fugazi, it's the right thing to do. The real man isn't a bully either. He helps people weaker than himself. That's unacceptable. Sorry, Lee, about the idiotic behavior from the trolls. The trolls came here and they picked on the wrong people. I'm not talking about me. I didn't go after the trolls. But they picked on other people that went after them and pretty much beat them up pretty bad. They don't want to hear that, but that's what happened. I mean, they uncovered trolls. They uncovered addresses, where they lived, who they are. It's not a good time for the trolls, people. Maybe it's time to go to another neighborhood because it's just not working out here. Well, people, you know what? I gave my word. It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to shut this show down, but I just want to thank you all for being here. I'm going to try to do a live before I get my surgery on Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, but I want to thank everybody. And Chicago, this is nothing personal toward you. This is about you going after a woman, dude, and trying to humiliate that poor woman. Is that what a man's about? I have 7 sisters. No, I will no longer have 7 sisters, but I had 7 sisters. I wouldn't want them to be treated like that. That's just all I'm trying to say, Chicago. You do whatever you got to do. If you want to attack me, you attack me. You got my blessings. But you attacking me is not going to affect me at all. At all. Not one person is going to stop coming in my chat room because of you. But anyway, just take the pictures down and apologize to his wife. That's all. That's all I ask. Everybody, you take care. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad I came on for an hour and got that. And the donations helped a lot again tonight, guys. I got 1 hour in. Once again, FBS, thank you so much. Jump over to his show, people. He's going to be coming on. Take care.